Hey guys, it's Krish V, your favorite PAC, and happy Independence Day to all my fellow Americans. Salute to all the vets out there, all the active military personnel out there. We salute you.
Nothing on this video or channel is medical advice. Please do not do anything in relation to your health without talking to your medical provider first. All this information is just for entertainment purposes. None of the thoughts, ideas, or data presented on this video and channel are associated with any affiliate, medical practices, companies, individuals, or others.
I hope you're enjoying your day like I am. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how the baby boomer generation is getting older and older in our country. So right now, we have a massive number of elderly people. Most of you know that as we age, our immune systems become weaker. So these older people that amount for a large percentage of our nation's population, they're going to be the ones that really suffer the most from cold and flu seasons. When you look at the numbers for last year's cold and flu season, it was kind of an off year because we actually had a lot fewer deaths compared to the previous year. A lot of experts were saying that this year was supposed to be a bit of a catch-up year. So in my opinion, these viruses and new cold, flu and cold strains, they're not going to be stopping. They are going to continue to affect a portion of our population as time continues. If you watched a recent interview with a triple board certified physician, Dr. Zach Bush, he really has gone into the studies of, the microbiome in different, areas of the world, and also the virome in different areas of the world. So the microbiome is like the bacterial makeup of, different areas, and the virome is the viral makeup. So there are over trillions and trillions of viruses around us all the time. So he kind of goes into how certain areas with higher carbon emissions, worsening air, has seen this is the areas where these bacteria and these viruses are forming, because it's Mother Nature kind of coming back at us for what we are doing. The whole microbiome and virome ideology, that's for another video by itself. So my big question to everyone is, how many more years like 2020 are we willing to go through? Like I said, we have a elderly population that is just getting older and older as years go by. These viruses are not going anywhere. They are going to continue to affect our society. My big question to you is, how many more of these kind of situations are we going to go through? And should we start accepting that this is normal life now? Are we willing to give up going to church, temple, going to bars and clubs and restaurants? Are we willing to give up that life completely and conform to a completely new way of life? And all these changes will be in the name of public health. So if it's for public health, do you think that we are going to just, kind of change as a society? If this happens a couple more times in the next, 2-3 years or 5 years or even 10 years, are we just going to become a completely different society in the name of public health? And you have to remember, these are people's mothers and grandmothers and, parents that are going to be getting older and older. So are we going to accept that, hey, we have to live this new normal lifestyle for maybe an extended period of time? For me, they're already talking about restructuring the schooling systems so that kids only go to school maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and then the rest of the time they'll have to go to online school at their homes. I could see that situation being extremely problematic for single parents, people that don't have the means to provide for a babysitter or a good nanny or somebody to watch their child. This whole thing could be kind of a traumatic experience for a lot of younger kids, just being left alone, isolated to go to online schooling. Some of these people may have a very short list of people they can rely on. What if the child ends up being cared for by some degenerate family member? And that's the reality. Some of this stuff is going to happen, and it is very concerning what's going to happen with the future of our children, going through such dramatic changes, not having the social interaction and developing social skills. And this will be all done in the name of public health. The whole world is shifting to this online virtual world. I think it's very positive in some aspects of it, but it can also be very negative. If you go through social media, we are really seeing that this online world is bringing out the most degenerate forms of people. People are arguing and saying the most disgusting things online that they would never say in person usually, but they are becoming something else when they engage with this online activity of just like fighting each other and just being so extreme one way versus the other way, and there's no compromising anymore. It's just, this is how I think, and I'm going to fight everybody that doesn't think how I think. So if the government's going to keep mandating measures to keep socially distancing ourselves, creating new policies in the name of public health, how are we going to react to this? When you look at the business world, some of these big companies that have taken years and years to develop into these big major companies, now with the government being able to shut them down and now offer financial assistance when they're struggling, all these companies that took that bailout money, they are now heavily influenced by the government. It's like the government has some kind of ownership in that company. When you look at companies like airlines companies, what's going to happen with that? Is the government going to start mandating different rules now that they have their hands in like companies like the airlines? Are they going to say that you need a vaccine before you travel on an airplane ever again? These are all scenarios that I want people to start thinking about and figuring out, are we going to be able to just change as a society completely and hand over our rights and liberties for this idea of public health? So whatever side you're on, I hope that you do think about these situations, and hopefully by us working together, we could find better solutions than things that are proposed to us. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up button. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe so more people have access to this information, and I'll see you on the next one.